Welcome back to the channel everyone for another ESO build video. I'm Fuzzy Juggernaut. Today I'll be showing you my updated version of my Stam DK The Witcher build for the Markarth patch. But first, before I get into the build, if you like this video or the content on this channel, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and push that notification bell to get the latest content from this channel. Also, I just wanted to give a shout out to everyone who has supported the channel. I greatly appreciate it and it means a lot to me. So thanks to all you watching this video right now, you're awesome. This video is a little long and is going to be covering multiple ways to run the build with the skills and the sets that I have. I'll be releasing the gameplay for this build tomorrow. It's just too much to put into one video, so that's why I sort of just kept it with a little bit of a clip right here and then mainly all the information on the build. Also, if you're just here for the gear, I put the timestamps in the description down below for those who want to skip through the video to get to the good stuff. This is a medium armor build that hits extremely hard and makes you feel like you're running in heavy armor. We have very good survivability along with high damage and great sustain, and the amount of heals and healing power we have is just amazing. As I say in all my build videos, my builds are just templates for you to use, so customize them, copy them, whatever you want to do. But enough talk, let's get into the build. Alright, here we are. Let's hop into the character sheet. So, this is our unbuffed stats. I'm just going to go over them real quick. We have 15k magicka, almost 29k health, 28k and a half max stamina, 1800 stamina recovery, 1100 health recovery, 1057 magicka recovery. We have 3387 unbuffed weapon damage, which goes up to 5.2k weapon damage, plus that's not including the set that we're wearing too, which adds another 348 plus, so we go to like 5700 weapon damage. 20% weapon critical, but that can go up to 32% to 35% depending on what you want to wear. I'll show you different ways you can run the build. We have 17.7k spell resistance, 17.5k physical resistance, and we have 28 critical resistance. You can get your critical resistance up a little higher if you'd like. This is what I feel comfortable at, so it's completely up to you. Back bar unbuffed. Everything's pretty much the same. We have a little more stamina on the back bar and 3k more resistances on the back bar, which is also nice. So that puts us up a little higher, plus a little more critical resistance, but you can, that's because of our shield and pen on it. You can go reinforced on there, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Now if we buff up, thing's lagging a little bit. There it goes. Now this is just halfway buffed up. We're at 4271, not including the set. And then we're at 23.5k resistances on the front bar, which is also nice. Everything else is the same. We have 2k stamina recovery without a pot. Same crit, but like I said, I'll show you how to get the crit even higher. Now we'll buff up on the back bar. So we're sitting at 3399 weapon damage, same crit, 26, almost 27k on the spell resistance, and a little over 26.5 on physical side, 2752 critical still, and everything else is about the same recoveries. We are Imperial on this race. You can go with Orc or whatever else you'd like, Dark Elf, Orc, whatever fits your playstyle. I like Imperial just because of the passives the Imperial gets. We get resources back for all the damage we do. We get resource mitigation and cost reduction to all of our abilities. Plus we get health and stamina. You don't get the weapon damage, but we have high enough weapon damage because this is a medium armor build that we don't need the extra damage. But if you want to go with those other races, by all means go ahead. We have 9 into health. You can actually put these into stamina if you'd like. I have 55 into stamina. Completely optional, so you don't have to have these in health. I just have them there just to give me a little health boost, but really don't need them. We are running Bewitched Sugar Skulls. This is the main food. It can be a little pricey, but it's not as bad as the Clockwork Citrus or any of those other ones. So honestly, this is the best food to run, but you can run whatever tri-stat food you'd like. I just like having this food because it gives us an all-around nice boost to all of our resources, plus the health regen that we get from it. Our Mundus running the Warrior, give us the weapon damage. I highly suggest if you go with Imperial to run this. If not, you can go with Penetration or whatever else you'd like. Could work for you, but the Warrior's best in slot for this, how we're running it. Now for our inventory, Actually, first let me go to the pots. So I use Crown Triad Restoration Potions. Pretty much in all my videos I explain this. Or you can go with Essence of Health, which is another Tri-Stat pot that you can craft. Or you can go with Essence of Immovability, preferably the Stamina version, which would be a lot better. Any of those three work. They all are really nice, and the Bewitcher Skulls, like I said earlier. So our first set is going to be Witch Knights. This is just an updated version of my build, like I said earlier in the video also. So we're running a weapon damage enchantment on here. It has Nirnhone. You can go with Sharpened if you'd like. Sharpened would produce a good amount of penetration and will give you a lot of damage also. I just had Nirnhone on her already from when this first came out, and I just kept it that way, especially because I'm on Imperial. I felt my damage was good enough, so if you're feeling a little lackluster, you can go with Sharpen to get that little bit more of pen. It's up to you. This set is really nice. It's going to give us 3 lines of max weapon damage, and then increase your weapon damage by 356 against enemies inflicted with a poison damage effect, which we're on a Stam DK, and we can afflict enemies with the poison status effect, which is really nice. So we're going to get this damage as long as you keep your poison damage abilities on a target. You will be able to melt them down and get this extra weapon damage that you get from this. Our back bar is going to be the Witch Knight Axe. I have powered on here for the increased healing. You can go Nirnhone or whatever you'd like on here. It's completely up to you, optional. I have the deals physical damage and restore stamina enchant on here. You can put whatever enchant you would like. Then I have a shield, Witch Knight Shield. This is impenetrable with the max stamina enchant on here. You can put reinforce. Preferably it will give you more resistances on your back bar. It's up to you. I feel the resistances are good on the back bar at 26 to almost 27k, so it's up to you, optional. Then we're running Blood Spawn, 2-piece Blood Spawn. Now you don't have to run this, you can run another one, and I'll go through that in a minute, but we have Impenetrable on here with the max stamina enchantment. This is going to give us our stamina recovery, and then when you take damage, you have a 6% chance to generate 13 ultimate and increase your physical and spell resistance by 3,731 for 5 seconds. This effect can occur once every 5 seconds. This set is still very viable. It is really good, and it has saved my ass multiple times. I can't tell you how good this set still is. It's not what it used to be, but it is still very viable, and especially if you're going to try to 1vx or like run solo and even fight, 2 guys, 1v2 or whatever you're doing, this set is a must in my opinion. I like it a lot. I do switch it out for Battle Orgs too though. Battle Orgs is very viable. It just depends on the situation I'm in. Then our second set is going to be Eternal Vigor. I run this on a lot of the builds. This set is just too good. Yes, I know it's a bit of a proc set, but I don't honestly think it's a full carry set like Crimson and the others, but to each his own. I have a max stamina enchantment on here, reinforced, just on the big piece right here for the chest to give us that extra armor. This is going to give us our Magicka recovery, stamina recovery, health recovery, and then max health. And then, the extra bonus that we get is 329 stamina and Magicka recovery while we're above 50% health. And then it adds almost 1,000 health recovery while you're below 50% health. So, really nice set. Shoulders I have reinforced. Preferably you'd want Impen on here. You don't actually need the reinforced. I just didn't transmutate them because they were already golded out from a long time ago. So preferably you could go Impen. I'll probably change them, but honestly Impen would be better. Max stamina enchant on those. Then we have Witch Knight Belt, impenetrable, stamina. Witch Knight bracers, so with the arms it's impenetrable with max stamina on it. And then we have Eternal Vigor pants, Tri-Stat on here. You can just go with stamina if you'd like. These are reinforced. Reinforce the big pieces. It's primary. You only really need the chest and the pants, but you can reinforce the helmet if you want to. It's completely up to you. And then we have Witch Knight boots. This is a 5 medium to heavy, and we have max stamina and reinforced on here. I crafted these a while back after obtaining all the sets when they made it so we could make the gear once we obtained all of it. Preferably you'd want Impen on here too, but I seem to do fine with the reinforced on here. Give me a little extra boost for my armor. Then we have Eternal Vigor jewelry on all 3 pieces. All 3 pieces are infused. 2 weapon damage enchantments and 1 stamina recovery enchantment. So that's going to give us that boost to 1800, and then when we use our rally we get 2000. Now You can switch this around and you can take off this and put on Balorgs, which will increase your damage. And then especially since we get leap quite often and really fast, this will do an insane amount of damage and an insane amount of penetration. But like I said, I get zerged down a lot and bogged down by a lot of people, so I run the blood spawn. Personally, it just helps me survive. I don't play on stamina that much anymore, so I'm just getting back into it. But if you're an experienced, hardcore, dedicated Stam DK, then you can run the Balorgs. And even if you're not, you can still go with Balorgs, even if you're in group or whatever you're doing. Balorgs is still very viable. Now there's a few different ways I run this, so you can switch the build around a little bit, still staying in medium and get a lot more damage. I've been trying to stay away from like Malakath and other things, but honestly it's not a big deal. So if you want to run Malakath, I do it every once in a while, just depending on the situation I'm in. So we can put Bloodspawn back on, or you can leave Balorgs on. It's up to you, whatever you'd like to do. We'll put on the Witch Knight's shoulders. So you'll lose one piece, but you'll still be doing a lot of damage. You'll put down the Witch Knight's necklace, and you'll keep the Eternal Vigor recovery ring. We'll put on Malakath. Let's see here. And then we will switch out this right here for Eternal Vigor weapon. Put the Mal on right there, and then we'll use... I don't know what pieces I have right here. Here we go. So you put this Eternal Vigor weapons on, and then whatever one piece helmet or shoulder you want to put on, and then just make sure you have the Witch Knight's part right here. That way you're still getting your 5 medium. We still have 5 of the sets of both. We're still in medium, and now we have Malakath on with 5.6 to 5.7 weapon damage, including Malakath now too. So, I mean, your dots are gonna be disgusting, and you're gonna be hitting pretty hard with this. So, okay. Now we'll go into our skills. So there's a few different ways you can run these skills, and I'll show you how you can use them. But this way that I have it set up right now that I'm going to go through, and then I'll switch them. But this way that I have it set up is you can run Malakath or without Malakath, how I showed you. Both are viable. With Malakath, obviously you're going to get more out of this, but I run it both ways, and I try not to use Malakath as much. So it's completely up to you. These are both viable, and then I'll show you how to run it with crit or without the crit and whatever else you'd like to run on there to switch it around a little bit for non-Malakath also. So we have Noxious Breath. This is really nice. It's going to put a little bit of upfront damage with a dot on them and put the physical or our major breach on them. Then we have Venomous Claw. This is also going to put some upfront damage with another nasty dot, especially if you're running Malakath. And this also is going to put the poison status effect on them, which is also going to proc for our set that we're wearing to get that extra 356 weapon damage. And then we have Rally. This is going to be one of our main heals on our front bar. It's going to give us 20% increased recovery, and then our Major Brutality, which is also nice. So like I said, and a fat heal the longer you let it go. Then we have our main spammable, which is Dizzying Swing. This works really well. Our tooltip actually goes a lot higher than this, sets enemies off balance, and it's really nasty. You can spam the hell out of it, and it's super cheap. Reverse Slice is going to be our main execute. Deals a lot of damage the lower the target is, below 50% health, which is really nice. If you notice, all these abilities costs are pretty cheap, especially the poison ones. So these, because of the Dragonite passives that we have, will be a lot cheaper, and then also the rest of our abilities will be a lot cheaper because we're Imperial and the passives we get in that. Then we have Take Flight for the ultimate. This actually goes up to fully buffed up. I think it's like 24k tooltip. It hits extremely hard. It's really nasty, and it is fun to use. So I highly recommend using this on your front bar. It's so cheap to use, and you get it quite often. Stacks really well with Balorgs, and still works great with Bloodspawn. For our back bar, we're using Resolving Vigor. This is one of our heals, one of our main heals on our back bar, and you're going to use this and then hit Igneous Shields. You can do it vice versa if you'd like. This is just how I heal on this. So I get 4 seconds on the Resolving Vigor, and then by the time I hit this, I've got 3 seconds left, and the full 3 seconds give me the Major Mending, which increases our healing done by 16%, and this gives us a little bit of a damage shield, which is also nice. So Igneous Shield is really good to have. Then we get Hardened Armor. This is our Major Resolve that we're going to give our
resistance is almost 6k, and you get a little bit of a damage shield and returns a little bit of magic damage to the enemies, but we don't really care about that. And then we have Carterize. This is a really good ability. This heals you every 5 seconds. It's a pretty nice heal, and the heal can save your ass quite a few times, man. It's this definitely helps with your healing. Like, you need to keep this up at all times. You pretty much need to keep them all up at all times, but this is your main one you want to make sure that you always keep up regardless, because this thing will save you over and over and over. Then we have a flex spot. You can run shuffle. I run shuffle here, but I also switch it around. You can run, let's see here. You can run invasion, pierce armor, whatever else you would like to run on this part. It's completely up to you. But shuffle works really nice. It gives us our major evasion, so our area attacks 20% less damage, and then it gives us our snare removal and immobilizations immunity, all that stuff. It's completely up to you what you want to run on there, but that's a flex spot. Then we have corrosive armor. Now, you can run the sword and board ulti if you'd want. I don't have it unlocked on this character fully yet. I'm at like 47, but corrosive armor is actually a really good ability, especially if you got a tankier target, higher health target, or like a werewolf or something else. It's a bit risky to use, but honestly, it is like extremely good. Like, if you use it in the right situation at the right time, you can really nuke somebody down. It limits your incoming damage by 3% of your max health and dealing 1140 poison damage to nearby enemies each second for 12 seconds. So it puts a nice dot. But the major part about this that's really good is while active, this ability and your direct damage dealt ignores enemies' physical resistances. So your dizzy swings and your execute, it just extremely annihilates them quick. So you don't have to run this. You can run the sword and board ulti. It's completely up to you. But I chose to run this on the back bar because there's a few times that I have used it. So if you want to go back to the front bar now, if you want to go with more crit, you can take off, let's see here, we'll put Camouflage Hunter right there. You're going to take off Noxious Breath and move over. You can slot these wherever you want. This is just how I'll play with it. Venomous Claw, so we still get the poison status effect. We get our crit and plus bonus damage for having this on the front bar, plus an extra bonus damage for hitting anyone from like the side or behind. Then you'll switch to your back bar. You're going to lose Shuffle, but you will put on, where is it? Pierce Armor. So you'll still get your minor and major breach on the back bar right here. This actually will give you a little bit more, and it's guaranteed to hit. It's just, and you're up close anyways as it is, so you just got to hit them once with this. It's going to give you a little more than it would with the Noxious Breath. You won't get as much damage that you would get from Noxious Breath, but let's be honest, Noxious Breath doesn't even hit half the time. So this is another viable way to run it. You're getting it on your back bar. You're just going to stack your stuff up, hit them with the Pierce, and then turn to your front bar and put your Venomous Claw on them, and then just start wailing away until they're down. Hit them with the leap, whatever you got to do. So that's the way you can run it right there. With that, you will be sitting at, let's see here, you'll be at 32% crit, and if you want to run something else like One Piece for critical, like One Piece Slime Crawl, One Piece Battle Orgs to give you a little more damage, a little more crit, you'd be sitting at like 34, 36%. So it's up to you, but that's just another way to run it. Let's see here, back to the skills. Now we'll go into our champion points. So, like I say, these builds and my champion points are just templates. You can copy them fully if you want, or you can switch stuff to your playstyle and how you play and all that stuff. It's completely up to you. You don't have to take this word for word. This is just how I play with my stuff and how I have my stuff rearranged. And I'm always rearranging my champion points around. So we have 56 into Warlord, 19 into Sprinter, 1 into Siphoner, 37 into Arcanist, 64 into Mooncalf, 37 into Healthy, 56 into Tumbling. You can put some into Shadow Ward if you'd like, if you want to block more than roll dodge, but I've been getting used to roll dodging a lot more, so instead of the block like I used to, I go with roll dodge, especially since we're in medium armor. 43 into Blessed for our healing, 72 Master at Arms, 40 into Thaumaturge. I only have 13 into Precise Strikes. Now you can take some out, and from these areas right here, you can take this down to like 33 or 37, put you at like 14% or 15%. Plus a few out of the piercing, and you can take probably a few out of here and bring it down to 9%. It's up to you. And then put those into precise strikes, get your crit up a little higher if you're going to go the crit way. I just have this set up without the crit right now, so this is how I left it. But we have 40 into Thaumaturge, 13 into precise strikes, 53 into piercing, and 49 into mighty. And we have 66 ironclad, 34 into resistance, 35 into medium armor focus just to even our resistances out, 37 into thick skin, 43 into hardy, 32 into elemental defender, and 23 into quick recovery for some extra healing. I think I covered everything. If I missed anything, just let me know in the comments section down below. I appreciate all you guys stopping by, checking out the channel, and I also appreciate all the support and love that I've gotten from all my fans and everyone that's been extremely supportive to me, including Grimsforge Gaming, Kirkoff, Karaoke, and Real Godzilla. Like, a bunch of people have been helping me out, and I've been trying to support their channels too, so make sure you check their channels out also. And that's it for now, but I will be putting out another build video within the next 3 or 4 days, so make sure you stay tuned and check out the content that's coming up.